Workers from fast food chains and nearly 20 airports joined nationwide protests for higher pay, union rights, and immigration reform on Tuesday in their first major action since businessman Donald Trump won the presidential election. In New York City, more than 200 protesters held a pre-dawn rally outside of a McDonald's restaurant where they chanted slogans calling for a federal minimum wage of $15 an hour. Here in West Baltimore, a couple of dozen supporters rallied across from the Blue Point Healthcare Center near Sinai Hospital.
I came out here in this rain, it would be snow, hail, sleep, or blow. I would be here because we are worth $15. Yeah. We work too hard and we are too dedicated. We love what we do, we love our residents, and we want what we deserve.
I love the work I do, but making what I do, I don't feel like I am valued at work. I give them my all plus more when it's needed. My wages should reflect what I put into my job. I'm calling on the city council to take action and raise the wages for Baltimore workers. Yeah. I mean, in the meantime, it just means I have to continue doing what I'm doing, and that's living paycheck by paycheck and trying to make a way.
How many hours a week do you work?
I'm gonna work 80 hours a week.
And how are you able to meet your obligations of, you know, your financial obligations, raising your child?
I mean, I have a nice support system. My mother, their fathers, they help me out as much as possible. Sometimes ends don't meet, and I have to brush things off and try to pick it up on the next paycheck.
I have been touched, but it is by this issue and by the need and by the people who work every day and still can't make ends meet.
Baltimore City Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark initially introduced the proposed bill to raise the minimum wage here in the city. Now, had it passed the council in an August vote, outgoing Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake said that she would have signed it, but it didn't pass. And there's no guarantee that incoming Mayor Catherine Pugh will approve it.
I'm not, first of all, it's not a part of my agenda currently, but I can tell you this, that it will be a part of the state's agenda. And so, you know, I think that we want to make sure that it is statewide, that we don't lose, that Baltimore doesn't lose in the process.
Councilwoman Clark says she expects the new city council, which will be sworn in December, to move the bill forward.
Mayor-elect Catherine Pugh has expressed a support for raising the state minimum wage as opposed to Baltimore City doing on its own. If the city council passes the Fight for 15 bill that you proposed, do you expect Catherine Pugh to sign it into law?
I would hope so. She'll have the legislative session in Annapolis will be complete, I'm sure, by the time we ever get to a third reader vote. So I know she has great influence in Annapolis. We feel that if we can get this passed in Baltimore, we've got D.C., Montgomery, Prince George's, it just creates wind on her back when she goes there.
So last year our bill in Baltimore had a delay, but this year we're back at it. We have a plan to add Baltimore to the growing list of cities and states to increase minimum wage to $15.
Even if this vote is able to pass the council, how likely is it that Mayor-elect Catherine Pugh will sign this into law, given that she's expressed support for raising the statewide minimum wage to $15 and not so much just for Baltimore City?
No, I mean, we would hope that, you know, if this legislation, which could change the lives of hundreds of thousands of residents of Baltimore City, something like this hits her desk, that she would sign it. You know, she was a great supporter on the statewide effort, and we hope that as the mayor of Baltimore City, she'll be a great supporter of this effort also.
And I'm just so excited to be here in support of not only the members of 1199 SEIU, but on the behalf of all workers, everybody, because there should not be a person in this country, especially in this city, that work 40 hours a week, do everything to ask for them at work, but still have to make a decision whether or not they're going to pay their electric bill or eat.
It was August of this year, the last time the Baltimore City Council took up the issue of whether to raise the city's minimum wage to $15 an hour. Now, that measure only failed to pass by one vote. However, Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, who is the bill's lead sponsor, tells us she hopes to reintroduce the bill again in January. And when she does, there will be 8 new incoming members of the council present to take up the issue of whether or not to do this for Baltimore City. However, the downside to that is she will also have a new mayor, Mayor-elect Catherine Pugh, who has not expressed a whole lot of support for this issue. So we'll see what happens as the vote comes up. Reporting from West Baltimore, I'm Kim Brown for The Real News.